Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to this video. I'm going to give you guys a set of symptoms that existed on this car, and I'm going to tell you guys how it was fixed. So essentially, there's a crack don't start, but I'm going to tell you guys what it was running kind of rough. So basically, when the car is started, there's a rough idle. All right, it exists there when it stopped at a light, when it's idling. During brief stops, like at a stoplight, it would, um, particularly with low engine speeds, and the warmed up engine, it pretty much had a rough idle, like it was about to die out. Now, uh, along with that, the car wasn't running well at all. All right, it was eating up a lot of gas, and it would stall out a lot too. And I would also actually smell gas. I would smell gas in the car, and also did get a check engine light. And also there was a lot of knocking noises. I could hear a little bit of some knocking noises coming from under the hood. And I'm going to tell you guys what this is and how to fix it. First of all, if you guys have this problem and you guys have a check engine light, you guys definitely should get an OBD2 scanner, or get somebody that has an OBD2 scanner, or go to AutoZone that have an OBD2 scanner and have them scan it. It'll give you exact readout of what the problem is. This might not be the cause of your problem. So basically, the code actually came up for the EGR valve. It was a stuck EGR valve. Now, essentially, you guys don't know what the EGR does. It essentially regulates exhaust emissions, and it's pretty much really, really important as far as far as the whole emissions thing is concerned, with the yearly inspection. But if you guys have issues with it, it's going to definitely cause some problems. And essentially what it does is it pretty much, when it's open, exhaust gases are allowed through the EGR system to help control vehicle emissions. And when it's closed, obviously the gases can't pass through the EGR system. So basically, when the engine first starts, the valve stays in the closed position. As you speed up, the engine reaches its operating temperature. The valve gradually opens. However, if you do slow down or stop, the valve will close. And this happens continually throughout the whole driving process. So essentially, what I did tell you guys earlier with the symptoms is essentially with the EGR valve, it could cause problems with the flow and operation of the EGR system. The EGR valve itself can be stuck open or closed due to the buildup of soot particles, carbon deposits, and dirt from fuel. So basically, if you guys drive if you guys drive at higher speeds, it essentially helps as far as the EGR valve itself, the component lasts longer, and faster journeys allow the engine to get hot enough to get rid of carbon deposits. Whereas if you have a lot of stop and go traffic, if you guys are driving your vehicle in a areas where there's a lot of stop and go traffic, it'll allow the deposits to build up, and you guys will have EGR issues because of that. So let me tell you guys why you guys will have a rough idle if you guys have this EGR valve problem. And normally you would have this idle when it's going at lower speeds, particularly when you first start up your vehicles and when you're stopped at stoplights, etc., etc. Reason being is that the EGR is, if the EGR is continuously open, there'll be a continuous flow of exhaust gases going to the intake manifold, which will cause those kinds of symptoms. And as far as the poor performance goes, that could be caused by regardless of whether the valve is open or closed. And obviously, if your EGR valve has issues, it's going to cause a lot of incorrect readings to your car's computer, and cause the erratic performance of your car. So if you guys have this issue, like I said before, you guys are going to have it's going to take up a lot of your gas, particularly because the valve is open, and the reason is because the temperature is lower, so fuel does not burn at the optimal temperature, and the result is less efficiency. As far as the stalling and idling is concerned, that's kind of pretty obvious, particularly caused by the EGR valve being permanently open. And essentially what happens is it's constantly letting exhaust gases into the EGR system. As far as the fuel smell that it was mentioned earlier, the reason being is that there's continuous flow of exhaust gases into the intake manifold because of low revs. Not all of the fuel burns up, and this means that the amount of hydrocarbon gases emitted from the tailpipe increases significantly, producing a fuel smell. Your car is gonna produce more emissions, and you might get a knocking sound from the engine. This is because at low RPMs, the fuel essentially ignites early when it meets the high temperature, and detonations are also common, as a second ignition can occur after the normal ignition. So obviously, if you guys get these symptoms, you guys probably should either check the EGR valve or change out the EGR valve. But for the most part, this problem will generate a check engine light. It'll generate a code for your vehicle. But I've heard that if you take a vacuum hose off the intake, you might be able to keep your car running, but you're probably going to have brake issues because of the brake booster that's actually connected to your car's vacuum system. But regardless, if you guys have any of your own personal experiences with this, please leave a comment in the comment section. It could help somebody else out as far as these particular issues are concerned. Please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe. All that good stuff, right, guys? Take care.